Alright, first shift of the game against the Penguins. Let's see what happens. Don't we just love that? We lose the face-off and they just give it back to you. Alright, D to D, nice. Okay. Not a big fan of that. Ready? Let's kind of rewind before I continue. So D to D, really good. And we're seeing pressure coming in already. That's to be expected. Now what I don't like with what Ernest did was just kind of immediately tossing it up. And we can kind of see two players right near Justin. Now even if it's not Justin, if it's Janice, you know, it's kind of feeding it. One is kind of like a panic pass, stirring it up, just because you got a little bit of forechecking pressure, and number two, it's kind of setting up our forwards for failure, seeing how, wow, how close is that, right? And the only choice really for Justin is got to feed it back down, right? So what I would have preferred to have seen is just one pass, settle it down. You see, oh, there's a forechecker, but nobody on Dave, right? All that space, just send it back to him. I think that makes the most sense to me. And for Janice, for red tapes in general, we've kind of said start to skate towards the puck carrier. So we see here she stops, tries the backward skates a little bit, couldn't quite get a good momentum, turns around and starts skating up like this, right? Kind of awkward, very tiring. We kind of went over this also last week with Lena. So what I would say it's much more energy efficient is boom, face-off loss or face-off win, and getting the puck back to them. So Janice, you would just start skating towards Dave a little bit, and then now towards Ernest. And so you're kind of looking at him. I know it's a little bit awkward because at some point Ernest is going to start skating up and you look like you're still going this way, and that's kind of when you start turning, and trust me, it'll be a lot easier to pick up the passes that way. So like that, instead of backwards swinging, you're just coming down, and as he comes up, you come up together, and then there'll be a little lead pass up to you. It'll be really easy, or you can even say point to the boards and you can do a little chip bounce and you can pick it up. Yeah, so let's continue, see what happens here. Very eventful. You know, actually before I do that, we can even look at Carrie Ann. She kind of does it. See how she's skating down towards Dave, and then eventually she reads it where she starts turning up because Ernest is starting to skate up. And that's pretty much exactly how you want to do things for Janice. All right, enough of this. Let's continue. It's only been like 10 seconds in the period and I'm already speaking an essay. Ooh, poke checked. I think that's another thing we can kind of talk about, where they're really clogging up this neutral zone and nobody really has any speed coming into the zone right now, right? You can kind of see how everyone is now at a standstill, in my opinion. And I think this is something we should work towards implementing in the future, is like this. We actually just kind of loop back all the way, get back into the zone, and it's the same with the forwards, just kind of loop back. And I like how Justin's on the right wing as a center, and avoid kind of being stationary, and we all skate up together, and then you can just dump the puck in, and then everyone's kind of has forward skating momentum. So that's kind of something I think we can work towards if we ever find our situation where like the neutral zone's super clogged like this. But you know, Dave gets poke checked and they're back the other way, and boom, shot against, misses the net. Let's keep going, another shot, Oh, I don't like that. Why are we trying to tip the puck? Right? Why number one is we're just screening Cliff, right? Just box, like tie up his stick, whatever. And then yeah, tipping it. Yeah, that could have easily tipped the other direction. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Alright, we'll stop it here. Yeah, pretty eventful first shift so far. So here's a situation with Lena. It's nice to actually probably talk about the disadvantages of playing off-wing and strong side. Off-wing just means, so in this case, Lena's a right-handed shot on the left-hand side. Some people prefer it, some people don't, but I think it's important for us to give everyone the opportunity to try that. Now, this kind of highlights one of the disadvantages of playing off-wing. So let's rewind a bit. We can hear Justin actually saying something, I don't know. I can hear him yelling. He's probably like, give me the pass, blah, 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 go, go, go. I don't know. And boom, Lena does a little backhand chip up towards Justin, right? Now, one of the things you can actually consider to do, like that's a disadvantage. You don't want to do little backhand chips like that. It's not very accurate. You don't get a lot of power. It's not great. Now, if you can, the preferred method is to rotate your body all the way around. So your kind of forehand is going to be like this, and then you can launch it up to Justin. Now, obviously, that does put you in a position where someone can strip the puck off of you. So, that being said, we can kind of see there's open ice right here, right? And what Justin should be doing is really directing Lena where he wants that puck. And seeing how she's on the off wing like this, one, you probably won't see that going to be a nice pass happening, right? And you should be doing your best, your help to kind of guide her. And I would say you want to bounce it off that wall, right? And so, being a right-handed shot, it's going to happen, right? She could definitely do that. Bring it on the forehand, boom, bounce it off the wall. You can skate right into it and come up. So, kind of one is just kind of showcasing the difficulties of playing on the off wing. Sometimes you get pros and cons, and the more games you get, you'll start to learn more about it. And then number two, Justin, you really need, like, you can say, I want it up here. Like, you need to direct it to her. Where do you want it? I want it off the wall. Send it up to me, like in an area. Point with your stick, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can just literally point with your stick. Oh, somewhere in this area. Get it over there. And then you can skate into it, right? You may not necessarily want it right on your tape right here, especially with pressure coming up. So yeah, let's end it there. And as usual, we like to show the banana peels on the ice. Oh! Another thing we want to say, I'll repeat this every time I'll see it. Try not to go straight into the boards because accidents happen. Obviously, in this case, the speed is kind of slow, but like, look at that. Just in an awkward position where you just get to have your face hit the boards, right? So turn yourself, so let's call this straight. Just turn yourself 45-degree angle in either way. So in this case, what this player should have done, in my opinion, just for safety, it doesn't matter anything else, is you come up, then turn, then in, right? That way safer for him. And if he falls, he's just going to slide along the boards, right? Rather than having you're eating a face full of boards. So everyone keep that in mind. So Lena gets the puck. What the heck? This guy takes it off of her. Or did you try to pass it? Maybe. Well, that's kind of rude. Whatever. We get it back. Ray comes up. What? How do you... Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray. Banana peel. Banana peel. Let's go. Another banana peel. I love it. Alright. We had a pretty good chance for Kathy here, driving the net. They didn't play her too hard, which was nice. I don't know if that was a shot or pass. One of the things is, I think for Ray, it's just got to add a little bit of movement. So a lot of checking, a lot of like very predictable, like with being stationary like that. So one of the things I would say for Ray is really build upon those skill sets, trying to change the angle. We all know you can do it, so shift to the left, shift to the right, walk that blue line, open up those laneways, and then so you don't become as predictable. Okay, so puck gets over to Jess. I don't like that, Kathy. I hate it. Why did you do that? You were doing so well. You went over here, a little open space, and then what do? You just cut in, and it makes it a sharper angle for her, right? Like even, let's kind of put it this way. So you change that angle, which is more difficult, and then now you also, like let's say you're here, a lot of room to pass to with this big safety zone without this guy possibly intercepting, and then you change the angle to become tighter, where like let's assume you continue that trajectory, right? Turn, and then let's say you get that pass, boom, right here. Like you're in that pathway right into this guy's face, which, you know, doesn't make any sense to me. And then obviously pucks goes out of the zone, which is worst case scenario. You're putting Jess in a really tough, like bad position. What would I say is better choice? So come up, slow down, and like if you wanted to get that laneway to the net, so let's pause right here. Maybe the assumption is you want that open laneway to the net. Like I would have thought coming up, and then like you're facing Jess here, like you're putting more room for error and mistakes, right? You can adjust for that with more distance and better passing angles, and then you can start skating in, right? Versus, yeah, not a big fan. So this one, we see Alex gathering it up. He's the center, and he does this. What is that? What is that? So I think this kind of comes back to, this is kind of like skill sets that are common things between different positions. And so you know, a lot of people, they say, oh, I don't want to play this position because I don't like it, whatever. But there's a lot of things you can learn from, like let's say in this case playing defense and being center. So one of the things I've kind of talked about for all the defense is you're taking it back behind the net. Fine, not a problem, okay? And we can use that as the safety zone, right? And one of the things Alex can actually just do right here is, boom, stop right there. Just hard stop right behind the net. You can take a look. You'll see right here, there's a guy right in front of my face. And nobody over here. right? All he has to do is just change directions and go back the other way. How simple is that, right? That is, I would say, very core basic skills for a defenseman. Now, him just okay, he gets the puck from the half wall, skates along slowly, boom, 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 then just hucks it up the wall, like biggest turnover in the world, right? Terrible. And honestly, super easy to fix. Just do a little hard stop, take a look, and stuff like that. So here's an example of learning skills playing other positions, but there's plenty more, and that's kind of where I encourage playing different positions and really getting to learn them, responsibilities. And also there's a lot of skills that kind of interlap with each other. So yeah, this is just one highlight. I won't roast Alex too much because this was pretty good. But we missed the pass, okay, whatever. But demonstration for all is like, I said in first shift, skate towards the man with the puck. That's really what you're gonna want to do. It's the same with Dave, right? You're all the way up there. You're doing your backwards skating. Actually, let's do a little rewind. Let's just recover. Let's take a look at how on everyone. So for me, let's start with Jess. We'll go to Alex, then we'll go to Dave. Okay, cool. So for me, in my opinion, I think Jess, you just follow the boards. You don't need to really go anywhere else. Just kind of slowly cruise along there. And at the same time, I would take a couple shoulder checks here and there as you skate along. You like check. If there's any time like a lot of open space opens up, then you can start to kind of sneak away, backwards skate, whatever you want to do, and try to take over that space. But otherwise, oh, okay, it looks like you're probably going for the change. Okay, understandable, whatever. Understandable that you're going back towards that way. Okay, fine, let's go to Alex. Right, he went towards Dave, saw it goes towards Ernest, cuts across, and really, you're not going to be skating towards Ernest. You really want that, just cutting across will be plenty. Following that, that 45-degree angle rule set. And boom, damn it, Ernest, if you had that pass accurate, this would have been so clean and so good. But yeah, just missed, unfortunately. And rewinding to Dave, all I would change for you, that's exactly perfect right there. You're skating down. Where is it that you went wrong? Boom, why'd you pivot, right? You're wasting energy, right? Slowly, you're not able to do it very quickly. It's inefficient. It's good to practice it. I won't flag you for that. But in this case, it would have been far more efficient. You just come down, maybe even along the boards. So, I would even encourage you to go down along the boards like this, and that gives you a really good target for even Dave to send it across, or Ernest to give it to you. And when you get that, your right-handed shot on your off wing, so that actually puts you in a really good position to even receive that. So here's a pro for playing on the off wing. Before I talked about a con for playing off wing for Lena, puts her on the backhand. But in a situation like this, you're actually in a slightly advantageous position to receive the puck in this manner. But as you play more, there's many pros and cons. Okay, enough of that. So coming down puts you in a really good position for all of these pathways, right? And then once you receive, just boop, turn back around, and you don't it's way more efficient in terms of energy. You don't need to stop. You don't need to pivot. Yeah, it makes your life a lot easier, trust me. So yeah, we'll just highlight Ernest missing that pass again, or Alex missing that pass. Another repeat. Excellent D to D. Relieve that pressure off the forechecker. Much better for the center and D. And then we could say the same thing for the wingers. Just Dave, come on down. Use that center as your guidepost and try to like be parallel with them. So if you just come down and then as he comes up, you just turn in with him. We can see Jess and Janice are swapping. Fine. Fine. Alex comes into the zone. One of the tricks right here, rather than doing this pivot, Dave, I'm a big fan of what you're going to do is come down, slow down, don't do this big ass pivot, but actually just cruise, like you start to turn and start cruising across the crease. And you're going to be facing Alex, but also getting yourself closer to him. And actually one of the tricks is going to be also is as you cruise along the crease, let's say Alex sends a pass across, you'll expect the goalie to slide across, you're coming back across the grain, and as he slides across you can wrap it around them. So that's going to be kind of the one of the tricks. And then if that doesn't happen, you can just cruise behind the net, and you can, and then if Janice comes in, she can cruise here or go here. We get nice triangles galore. So things to consider rather than being on the back door. Remember, try to think about cutting that ice in half. Just slice that net in half and try to come on to the side where the puck is. In general, I'm a fan of that. But okay, let's continue. I do like how you shifted behind the net for that support. Very good. Got the puck battle going on. Janice is not bad. Again, cut that ice in half. Just try to sneak over here. I love that corner of the circle. We call it the magic spot. And you know, Dave tries to send a pass to Janice. Fine, didn't work out, but you know, the idea is there. And then here comes the Carrie-Anne imposter. Red tape, fair enough, let her shoot. I like it. One of the things we're not focusing on for the D, again, some of the mistakes of the past is certainly we can let the red tape come through. I don't have any problems with that, but we got to pay attention of who are the dangerous chances behind, right? We see Ernest focus on her, and same with Dave, but this player could have easily snuck behind him and tapped in that rebound. He could have, right? And Dave and Ernest probably would not have seen, right? You can see their heads just facing the whole way, not paying attention. And you know, same with Justin. Maybe Jess can see him, but we can kind of see where they're all not really focused on this player that could be a sneaky threat. So I think we should all kind of remember, we can let the red tapes come in, but remember there's always going to be an intermediate, more than likely maybe one, maybe two with them on forward. That could be dangerous. So here's another one for Justin. So we had one earlier with Lena. Just you stop skating, Justin, just for that split second. And this whole time you gotta really like I will call you like the conductor, right? You need to direct traffic. Ernest does a good job intercepting. He's skating up with the puck, right? And he's looking at you. And it's really your job to conduct. Where do you want that puck? You need to tell him. You need to point. You need to direct. Like he can see you, so you gotta give that like your body language to kind of instruct him. Where do you want it? Right? And you're skating up. You guys, good. Like that's good speed right there. Like, if we see more of that at you, Justin, it'd be fantastic. You have that little pause right there, and you got to know that there's going to be pressure behind you. So one of the things is, like, if you stop skating, that center laneway is not going to exist for you anymore after that split second. So if that's the case, you need to kind of direct traffic to, hey, I want on the boards, blah blah blah, whatever, right? Rather than on that center lane. And then we also know, we've kind of talked about Ernest, he's on that kind of offside. He's right-handed on that left side at this very moment, so it's going to be awkward for him. So we see here stops, so a little late on getting that puck, and therefore the goalie is able to slap it out. And so I think one of the things I would say is you can direct him, hey, get it off the boards, bounce it off of it, and you can skate into it. But you, like I said, you're the conductor, you're directing traffic. You gotta tell them, hey, I want it here, point it, skate to it, yell it, whatever you need to do. Body language, continue skating, don't stop for a second, right? Things like that are gonna create more chances for you. Ray comes back for the reset, pivot, I like it, sends it D to D. Damn, that was a nice catch, Janice. Yeah, it looked like a pretty powerful pass, I gotta admit. That was a pretty good catch. Let's look at our forwards. Yeah, better. I think for Carrie Ann, better, like, you know, all of this is always getting better, but I think the only change is, you see how she kind of turns early behind this player. The only adjustment I would personally do myself is actually come in front and do that. Just kind of puts you in a really nice body positioning. You won't have the risk of interception, and then once you kind of receive it, it almost catches them on a surprise, and you should be able to beat them. Otherwise, yeah, this looks good in terms of Justin and Carrie Ann, and we use D to D to kind of relieve pressure. I think this is all pretty fine, pretty good. Unfortunately, some skill difference there between Janice and their red tape, so she got the puck knocked off of her stick. Fine, not a big deal. Another demonstration of, so here comes the reset. I've said the importance of being lateral, but also kind of being behind. So I think, Ray, if you're instead of here is better. And so the risk of, like, it'll be easier for Thomas to get it over to you, and it's kind of like less risky. But we were able to survive off of that. So Ray's coming up. Here again, we've kind of talked about they're really good at clogging it up. And now all our forwards are on a standstill, right? And one of the things we may want... What the fuck, Ray? Okay, so here Thomas comes back, and one of the things we should not ever be afraid of ever doing is literally just say, I don't want to go in like this. Skate all the way back to our own zone. Let's kind of use this ice as our little model, and pretend it's on our side of the ice. Don't be afraid to just literally skate all the way back to like the face-off dots, and then come back up. And by then, our forwards should also come back to maybe like the blue line, and then you can skate up together with speed, and then dish it off. Rather than, you see how everyone's stationary, it's so predictable, and then yeah, I don't know what the fuck was that, but Don't be afraid. Yeah. Let's kind of follow Justin here. Yeah, I didn't like that. Not Justin, just the pass. Yeah, it would have been way better if, like, let's say Thomas skates up together, Justin's drawing people over there, Karen comes up, Janice comes over here. It's just so much harder to defend, and you can get zone entries way better that way. So yeah, don't be afraid to take it back. It might seem like you're puck ragging, but it's much better. It's mostly a reset. So they're coming in, and you know, last week I was picking on Kathy a little bit about puck watching too much, and same situation developing right now. So Ray is putting pressure on this player right here. That's what he needs to do. That's what he is doing, and all he has to do is also make sure he stays between this player and the net, right? Somewhere along that line, and put pressure on them. The remaining two primary defenders are going to be the center and the right opposite side defense. So in this case, Thomas and Justin. So the question you should be asking right now is, Ray's putting pressure on this player. What are the secondary and tertiary risks? Going to be number 22, and it's also going to be this player right here. So let's watch how it develops. And they have completely forgotten about them, and they get a big chance on Cliff. Cliff makes a save, and luckily, and a secondary chance, and he makes both saves. But let's a little rewind here. What happened? Puck watching, puck watching. Oh no. Completely left alone. We had two defenders. Should have been both of the responsibilities, Justin and Thomas. And he was forgotten about, right? And really the root cause is, what's the problem? Puck watching. Too busy puck watching, not watching who are the what's the risks. For a second here, I would say even this too busy puck watching, all we need to do is identify stick lift, and then have the right D, in this case should be Thomas, going into pressure. Keep it simple. Don't need to don't need to make it any fancier than it needs to be. Now in this case, Justin intercepted it, which is still fine, but usually I say interception is not as good as just a simple stick lift. So some thoughts there. All right, I like it with Kathy coming down all the way. Right, some people might say that's a lot of extra skating because we got a lot of room, but this allows her to make a lot of decisions, right? Which way to go. Now, I would say with the way that Jess is skating and Lena's skating, it's making decisions going to be difficult for Kathy, right? So the trajectory right now is she's coming up, and Jess is coming this way, and then Lena's coming this way, right? We can see somewhere along here might be a little problem. Nowhere to pass to, and everyone's in for a collision course. Let's see how that develops, right? And we can see how Jess eventually has to divert. And in my opinion, let's do this a little rewind, is if Jess actually comes along like this, nice and wide, keeps low width, it would be a much smoother. So yeah, take that nice wide arc rather than a little short baby one. It's going to be less tiring, and you're also going to have a lot of you'll see the ice a lot better. So yeah, that little diversion. So just going to be a straight line on the wide, and she can even pass to you. And from there, you can actually just bulldoze even faster in a straight line path, and then maybe Kathy could lead it up to you. Lena's in a okay position. I don't mind that. Rewinding back. So I have talked about in the past with Kathy, she has gone kind of straight line. And we talked about if we can incorporate a little zigzag pattern, right? A little snaking up, linear crossovers. It makes it much harder to defend, a little harder to read, right? So we can see she's mixing that up a little bit, which is good to see. Going out, going left, going right, going left. It's just tougher, right? It's not easy for them to angle you in any direction. They can try to go straight at you, which is kind of what this guy did. And then from there, you can just change directions. So pretty easy zone entry. We can say, I would say it would be preferable if Jess had a little bit more width to it along the ice. So then you're really kind of drawing defenders in either direction, and that just opens up the space a lot more. And then all that hard work almost got tossed away with that pass across. I do the same thing sometimes. I think what I would personally work towards, and what I say what Kathy could even also do, is actually almost like you're coming in with some sort of speed, right? And we see these defenders are coming back with you. So if you do like a tight turn coming in like this, you can maybe almost hope for the defenders to go that way, and you buy a lot of space and time to work with. And then you can kind of see better passing options there. That's certainly an option. And I think for Jess, sometimes to consider, like, if a player's getting angled off like this, coming in behind and trailing, I think usually is I like the idea, because if Kathy's coming in with a lot of speed and you come in and trail, kind of sets up for a good drop pass opportunity right there as well, instead of doing the tight turn that we've said, rather than seeing how you kind of went straight like this. Let's continue. Maybe let's see if there's any good offensive chance developing here. Positioning is great right there. I like it. A little nice triangle position. Yeah, okay, I don't mind it. And let's see how we defend. We're able to break up the play. Not quite at the blue line, but we're getting better. Right? What's important, we've talked about, is trying to close up that gap. So what could we do better? Yeah, we start the retreat, that's fine. Close up the gap, but the second important aspect is continue that backwards momentum. Never lunge forward. So if you can't stop them with the blue line, it's not going to be the end of the world. What's important is poke check, continue the backwards skating, and then you can have more chances of poke. You can see Dave didn't completely stop. Maybe he's slowing down because he saw the first poke. Gives him another chance to poke again. But the important part is don't come to a complete stop, or don't lunge forward. Otherwise, they could chip it past you and they'll get beat. But in this case, that's fine. And what we want to work towards, as I've kind of said in the past, is if we can somehow get that poke check done before this blue line, it's going to be like smooth sailing. So then we can try to force offsides like that. Okay, let's continue. Let's see if anything. Oh yeah, that's way better. So we've kind of said before, don't get caught watching, right? Who's that secondary, tertiary dangerous, right? So, Kathy identified. That's good to see. Oh, that player was smart. So, instead of Kathy stick lifting him, he stick lifts her and then almost gets a chance. So, yeah, clever on that player. And that play. So they clear out. I don't mind it. Go for the icing, go for the change. It's been some time here. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Bounce pad. Oh, God. Alright, what's the mistake here? So, I guess I can understand. Plays all the way up here, and I think the goalie actually bounce passes it onto this player. Mistake for Ernest, having this player behind him. I can understand maybe trying to get in front of him to intercept, but a bounce pass like this, disaster. So why is that a mistake, in my opinion? Now, if you are behind him, so let's say behind him, you can read where that bounce is coming, and then that's where you step in front if you want to intercept. Now, if you don't intercept, you're also going to be in a really prime position. First of all, priority is going to be in between yourself, like the player and the net, right? And being behind them and being close to them, the moment he turns around and receives the pass, right, like this, you can just poke check him. Like if you don't want to intercept, you can just poke check him, make his life miserable, and then if you miss that, you're still in between him and the net, right? So that's the mistake, and that's how number 6 gets body positioning, shot chance, right? So those are the mistakes. Clears it out. Probably an icing here. Yeah. All right. Alex makes the cardinal sin, winning the face-off towards Cliff. Oh my goodness, right? So I see his first attempt is trying to backhand it, right? Understandable. But then he does the sweep, and this is the cardinal sin, winning it towards Cliff. Now, thankfully, Cliff is paying attention, but we have scored on our own net in the past, and funny bounces can always happen. Yeah, so we always try to win it to the corner or straight back, but we got to be extremely careful winning it back towards our own net, because you know that's a big no-no. Let's see how we clear it out. Okay. Fucking Dave, come on. Another banana peel. I love it. I love it. So what can you do differently, Dave? So go straight, go around, go towards the boards. Yeah. I mean, the only thing you do is just don't run into the guy. And Ernest comes in. Okay. Oh, more banana peels on the ice. Good try. And then let's see how. Big chance. Okay, red tape. That's fine. Oh my god. That looks scary. So Janice is a little stuck in no man's land right here. She does a good job following number 0. I don't mind her coming down. Like normally I say, you know, stay up high, close to the defense. But you can see here 0 went down, so she follows him. I don't mind that. And then the moment Dave gets the puck, Janice, I will say what you want to do is start skating towards the boards and start coming up. So at this point, it's not necessarily getting the puck, it's all about getting to a really good position. And right here is going to be good, and then Alex is actually doing a pretty decent job. I would say this is all prime passing candidate all the way along. Let's see what Dave does. Holds it, that's fine. Not a problem. Safety zone. Ooh. Thomas has leaked up too far. Generally, I say I like one of the corners. Now, depending on how the ice develops, I actually also don't mind where the ref is standing and opposite side. So this hash mark and right here for the D. And you can also have another winger occupying one of these spots. So it ends up forming a little kind of triangle. And then with the center swooping around in either direction. Yeah, I don't like where Thomas is right now. Yeah, and then Alex was in a good spot. And then for Janice and Dave, like I said, for Janice, get closer to the boards. So this way, and then Dave, probably like right around here is going to be a good spot. Try to avoid being all the way up to the blue line. It's too easy to intercept, and it puts you in a really bad position. Yeah, let's just keep this going. Oh my God, Alex. That was a big chance. You did a good job to like protecting the puck. Oh my God. Oh no, Alex. It was a good try. It was a good try. I'll give you that. Oh no. Man, this play keeps on giving. Oh no. We got lucky there. This was a mistake on Ray's part, I'd say. So, right idea, putting the pressure at the blue line. But I think the mistake was committing too hard on the blue line attack. We gotta, first priority is really controlling this player, containing him, right? Keeping between yourself and the net. And then the bonus factor is holding them at that blue line, making that stopping, poking them. So yeah, I think the attempt is right. We got a lot of good elements there. Just a slight mistake in terms of, we call it surfing, or at least that's how Andrew calls it. There's like no whistle so far. It's continuous. It's relentless. Okay, I don't like. It's okay-ish. Maybe we don't want to see Ray staying down too long. Usually, especially with like in VHL, it's okay. I guess in general, we would want to see a player cover for him. So in this case, it would probably be Janice, but you know, that's probably, we're expecting a little bit much for red tapes at this moment, but that's it's fine. Shot on net. Red tape coming down. Probably her opportunity to shoot. Fair enough. My God, she's still going. Tie up that stick, net front. Okay. Better from Justin. One other thing I could for Justin is, one of the things I like to do, you don't have to, so watch how he pushes him out, right? Fair enough. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. What I like to do sometimes is give him like a false sense of security. You just kind of stay behind their vision, and he's a right-handed player, right? So just watch the puck and watch him, and then just float your stick underneath. Don't need a stick lift yet. The moment that pass comes is you time it, and that'll annoy the shit out of them. I just say this because VHL, you don't have to body anybody if you don't like. You can. Sometimes it like you do want to if they're screening Cliff, for example. But in this case, sometimes I like to just be sneaky and just stick lift them instead, and you don't need to push anybody around. Keeps it nice and simple. So DDD pass, I like it. Man, no whistle still. That's crazy. Let's just keep going. Just keep going. Fair enough, he made a mistake. Took off puck from Jess. Good drop pass. Oh, that was a good play. Still no whistle. Amazing. Let's keep going then. Why not? No cuts. No. Alright, fuck it. Let's just stop the clip here. So this one, actually let's try to mute this here. Jess is staying down here covering this player. That should be covered by right D in general. So we want to see Jess coming up, putting pressure on number 17 instead. In this situation, Kathy comes out to do it. But yeah, I think we want to see Jess doing being up there as well. Number 17 being just using his power to stop Kathy from going. Yeah, that's just unfortunate, but it is what it is. Little D to D passing here, which is good. So that's good. Kathy giving the opportunity to pass right here the whole time, and you know, kind of same situation. I think Jess needs to give some options for Thomas, and then Lena that same technique where you're skating down and then possibly getting a pass and then turning up rather than turning away. Let's see how this develops. So I think one of the things here is Kathy, you could communicate that you want it, but let's see. I think that's all fine. Yeah, not a lot of great options for Thomas here, and then I think with same can be said with Dave. Maybe jumping the gun too early. We've said kind of keep it parallel, but also slightly behind. So jump the gun maybe a little bit. It's okay. I would maybe like to see Jess rather than here. You could be over here, or what we do differently is, let's actually rewind a little bit more, is right here is where the counterintuitiveness happens. So we say skate towards the puck carrier, so Dave. So it's going to start like this. Then as it goes across to Thomas is where the magic happens. You have option to come up like this, or depending on how the ice opens up. So we start from here and then we go like that. And then from here is how you would read it, is either coming up like this or cutting across. Just kind of read what is going on in the space over here. But that's kind of like the options I would consider. So right now I'd say it's just too far ahead. Yeah. Got the good hustle though. I like it. Oh. Now Lena's coming up. Now does Kathy drive the net? She does not. Four on two. Not looking pretty. And Ray, that's offside, right? Yeah, it has to be. Sick. I love it. Another demonstration of poke check at the blue line. Alright, another week, another episode of Ray looking so good, but now that's not the worst part. So he had a good chance, he misses the shot on the breakaway. Now the worst part is this. What the fuck, Ray? Where's that to? Now, I'm gonna give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt. Janice has really good spot. Now you can just cruise in and just slowly stay in this area, the high slot. Zero reason for you to cruise all the way this way. Now remember, let's cut that ice in half. Where do we want to be? Typically on the side with the puck, so it's over here. And default is the magic spot, but in general, anywhere around here is a really good spot as well. So bit of, yeah, not sure what we're going there. Now, just because you're a right wing, yeah, okay, so we can dial this, we can rewind this a little bit. A lot of the misconception is if we cut this ice in 3 spots, a lot of people think, oh, just because I'm a right wing, this is the only area I'm allowed in. And I want to absolutely take that idea and toss it in the trash can. Never think like that. It should be always dynamic in how you move, and so don't think like that. And let's kind of get off, we've gotten off topic. Let's go back to shitting on Ray a little bit here. Why would you not just, like, we can see Alex coming over here. We should be looking at that. We should be looking at where's the support, a little reversal, a little behind the net. But I don't know, man, what is going on here? It's not the worst. It could have worked. It could have worked. but I just want to give Ray a hard time. So Dave comes in, pretty good zone entry. Yeah, a lot of open space they gave you there. Pass up to Thomas, couldn't quite settle it, goes out of zone. Fine. Oh, banana peel. We all know what that means when we get banana peels. Got to do the rewind. Okay. I don't like it. So, I think one of the problems, I wouldn't say the problem, but it's like a mindset that we have is we're so antsy of just sending the puck up that we don't buy ourselves enough time to just completely reset. Kind of like I said before, we should never be really afraid of even just skating it all the way back to our face-off dot and then coming up with speed. It doesn't even have to be like super fast speed. You're just having forward momentum and having a nice line of forwards across to work with, rather than just hucking it up and then, you know, 50-50 battles and turnovers. So I think it's just like a little, oh, another banana peel. We all know what that means. Yeah, just don't be afraid to really like take it back on the reset. And I think that's just one of the things that could really elevate the team game. So this one is pretty good. Jess comes in on the forecheck, nicely done. And big chance coming up, boom, shot. I like it. Justin hustling down, pass to Jess. Intercepted, perfectly fine. Man, isn't Justin so much better when he goes into support positions instead of just camping outside in front of the crease waiting for a pass? Oh gosh, I like it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good chances right there. And it's good to see Justin being, you know, I just gotta say it's way more effective when you're moving around the ice more than just like planting your ass in front of the crease the entire time. So yeah, that's good to see. Okay, so they knock the puck out of the zone. Everyone's going for a change. Oh god. That was a bad time to change. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think Dave, you played that fine. Just let Cliff have the shot and cover that backdoor play. And then eventually, somewhere around, let's say here to here, you'll need to start putting pressure onto him so that 17 can't just drive in and deke. But yeah, I think we played that perfectly fine. But holy smokes, guys, that's a bad time to change. So here's a tough one. Yeah, really tough pass to get, but kind of made it work, Lena. Ooh, hustling for it. Okay. Okay. So right here, one of the things we can consider for Lena and Janice is we've said back turned. So that means, generally speaking, we don't want to stay in this area. And I'm a big fan of coming to the half wall and behind the net. That way that pass can go this way or they can go this way. As general support, we call these support areas anywhere along the perimeter. Generally speaking, it just means give your teammate somewhere to pass to, and then you yourself may not necessarily be in a scoring position at that time, but it just allows the puck to be moved around. So eventually puck gets to Ray. Now let's kind of focus on Lena first. So one of the things we see is she sees that puck's getting to Ray, and then she turns around right away. And one of the routes or movements or patterns I like to actually encourage, and it might be slightly counterintuitive, but is you actually come up, or even the pathway is going to kind of look like this. Come up and then almost follow this circle. And anytime like along these is going to be passing options, even all the way up to this tip of the circle. And it really just gives you a forward skating path and an also really nice path to be able to shoot on net in the slot. So that's something you could definitely practice in the next warm-up or stick and puck or shinny. And then in Janice, same concept. Remember to cut that ice in half, come to the side. So once you see the puck is reversing like that, just come over here, cut that ice in half, somewhere here, somewhere over here. In general, that's what I'm a fan of. Yeah, let's kind of see how this pans out. Okay. So just the previous clip, we talked about cutting that ice in half and bringing yourself on the side with the puck. And generally speaking, I like to have two players somewhere in the zone, doubling up and supporting each other. So like, let's say here and here, if we're passing the puck, and then someone in, we can even call it like a half house in the zone. I really like these areas of the ice. And generally speaking, this part is harder to be in, and then this spot is kind of like the second best option, and people tend to forget about you. But in this case, there's so much free real estate for Jess to be in that, you know, she has her choice. And we can see how just doubling up like that eventually opens up for, boom, really good chances right here for Jess. So this one was crazy. Red tape coming in, let her have the shot, perfectly fine. But then, Thomas, that almost went in, holy smokes. Let's watch that again. So Thomas tries to clear it out, and clearing it out this way hits Alex's skate and almost goes in. Cliff probably had a little mini heart attack there. Now in general, I personally am a fan of clearing pucks always in the corners rather than out like this. And it's more of like a momentary safety rather than, like, let's say you clear it out this way and a player comes in and collects it, then they have another chance of shooting it on net, and I generally do not like that. Versus throw it in the corner, it's just easier to manage. It's almost as if, like, let's say Cliff made a save and just bumped the rebound to the corner. So that's kind of like the thinking behind it. So just a continuation, a shot from light blue and a big shot by 44. Either they missed or Cliff made a big save. Now remember, as wingers, it is really important that we cover our D, number 44 and light blue. I don't quite remember who was responsible. Okay, right wing was Jess, left wing was Dave. Okay, so Jess should be covering this player, Dave should be covering 44. And so we're doing a little bit of chasing. And Dave, you're not covering who you should be covering, which is number 44. And so we get a little chance right here because it's just a lost coverage. And things got a little messy, but where Dave was finally able to get it out. And smartly plays it back to Thomas. Ah, why? Oh man. So I like that play by Thomas, and I think what Thomas just needs to do is control this play down a little bit, look for the pass, a clean pass, and I think if he just slowed it down a little bit, he'll see that there are players going for a change, and maybe he was trying to do a quick up. That's just so unfortunate. And then shot on net. Oh no, another one. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean you can kind of really see how quickly things can go sour just with like a simple turnover like that in the neutral zone by not being patient with the puck. So Karen comes in for a shot, gets blocked, deflected out, the guy clears it. Ray. Wasted opportunity. Oh my goodness. Alright, tell me at least you get it back into the zone. Oh my god, Ray. Okay. Well, at least we get it somewhat. Oh no! Another banana peel on the ice. Yeah. Gotta hold it in the zone. This is some next level sketch right here. I mean, it works. So, first concept of depositing pucks into the corner. It was met. The funny thing is, I guess Cliff was on this side, and you deposit it on the backstore side rather than the side that he's already on. Is where it's sketchy, and I guess you may not have seen the guy behind you. So maximum sketch level, but nevertheless it worked. Let's see, Jess coming in. Oh man. Oh, big secondary chance there though. So Thomas is getting the puck, but this coming up is a rare treat. Haven't seen Thomas pull this off before when he's joined the club. Pizza party! Oh my goodness. Now, as a reminder, if anyone doesn't know what a pizza is, we can just draw this nice little slice in the middle of the ice. It really is just indicating a cone in the middle of the ice, and we always got to be careful sending any passes along this zone. We can call it a nice little pizza slice. And it's served hot and ready for the guy to possibly shoot it on net. So Thomas has joined the club. Luckily for us, the guy didn't take that shot opportunity. But, oh. My God, how do we forget this guy? What happened here? Um, I mean, I don't think I need to say much else. Okay. Here's another one. Yeah. Just make sure you vary your path, Lena. So my first thing I can see is just straight line, right? And really, the first thing you should usually think about is how do I increase some spacing between you and the puck carrier. So just eke yourself wide a little bit. Like, it's always going to be about changing angles, and it's going to make life easier for you. Yeah, try to avoid being in a straight line, and of course, the more spacing you have, like with Dave here, it helps you out and it helps him out. So let's continue. See how this is somewhat awkward. It still works out, but it becomes awkward. You're forced to turn around like that, versus if you are over here, like a little bit more along the boards, you get more optionality. Instead of curling like this, you're forced to protect it like that. You can choose to go in and skate into it, catch it, and then continue down, or you could just take it and turn exactly how you had. So it's just more adding optionality for yourself. But let's continue. Unfortunate. Let's just continue the clip, see what happens here. Neutral zone pizza. Big save. Now, what I would rather do in general, and I think it's something we definitely want to work towards, is let's say you want to get a pass directed over here. One of the things we want to think about is, or not think about, but work towards, is it's better to do this than it is to do like this, right? Obviously you can't mind control Thomas to do what you want to do, but it's all about kind of rerouting. So we can think about using like a U pattern instead of a diagonal. We can go like back, boop, boop, forming a little U, right? This can always go in either directions rather than going across diagonally, unless it's a really clear seam. Yeah. All right, big pass up to Justin, comes in with somewhat some speed, but ooh, is that the most predictable and easy to defend path ever, right? There's zero indication that you'll change directions. It's just literally a straight path. Yeah, gotta mix in some movement there, Justin. So whether that's just a little shake going this way, a little movement this way, and then go back to the same path you want to do. Okay, so here's the path you took. Whether you go like this and then come in and then go like that, or you go like this and go like that, you know, just moving, getting some movement, make this 17 go left, go right, is gonna help you tremendously in getting a clean shot off. Going like this, dude, this guy, number 17, didn't have to make a single step. Like, look at that. Let's just watch it again. Gotta hammer this point through. He did not have to make a single step. It is just kind of hammering through the point of how easy of a job you made it for him. Like, you could have even driven the net cut across like that. So gotta mix it up a bit, make a move, and then you'll be able to get a clean shot through. Okay, I gotta say, this was pretty impressive right here. So Dave gathers up. I mean, to be fair, he's given space, but what a pass. And oh my god, Janice, I can't believe you held on to that. That was a hard pass too. It was not easy to handle that. Yeah, good spot. I would say the only thing I would suggest to improve upon is just sneak your way. So make your movement like this. Not necessarily just kind of get yourself in this prime real estate, and then you can turn and get a shot. It just increases the angle, makes things easier for you, rather than staying on this far side. Remember, just because you're right wing does not mean you have to be on that right side of the ice. So really think about cutting that ice in half, coming over, and then here is really that prime real estate. Let's mark it again. This is that prime real estate, but oftentimes you're gonna get covered. So I say next best option is this little magic spot, and then like this is like the you're gonna get beat up spot if you stay there for too long. We gotta continue showing all the banana peels. Alright, let's see what Ray. Not bad, good try. One of the things I didn't like is how long. So Ray comes in, and he just kind of stays there. And I gotta hustle back, my man. I like this reaction by Dave. Hilarious. Alright, let's kind of review a lot of things I didn't like, and okay, I gotta watch the whole. I gotta watch. Let's start with Carrie. I think she was fine actually. Yeah, that was fine. I would even be tempted to say continue down more before turning. Yeah, because I would say like starting from here, it's not so easy to make that pass to you. And I would like even slow it down, just like slower, like starting from here to here, kind of slowish, and then come maybe more of a wide path like that, and come up, and then come back towards the board. But I think Carrie Ann was fine. Let's take a look at Kathy. Well, one is actually we'll rewind it and look at Thomas. Not a huge fan of that positioning either. I would have liked to see him come down and help out Dave. Remember, we say kind of diagonal, maybe slightly back is my preference or opinion of helping out Dave. Like, really, he's not able to get a good pass to Thomas until maybe around here. Versus if we got down there earlier, you can just, like, if Dave doesn't see anything, you just D to D back and forth. It's not a problem. Alright, let's go look at Kathy. A whole bunch of garbled messes there. And then same with Jess, I guess. She's just chilling, looking like she's just doing a little backstretch or something. I think my preference would be kind of following, almost mirroring what Carrie Ann is. I mean, obviously, it would, if you did, it would be a bit of a traffic jam over there. And I guess that's kind of okay. I would say a preference of getting more towards the boards, get that width of the ice, or even come back all the way, and then Dave just needs to make that decision to not kind of force it up quite yet. And then yeah, finally Kathy. I think this path was just kind of ill chosen where going into traffic versus I think in my opinion what I would have preferred. Like you're just kind of running away from Dave too soon, and I think it's kind of one of those things where if you pass it and then really slow down your pace, just kind of like slow it down and then turn back around and kind of watch Dave, and he's like, and once you're ready or he's ready and you're ready, you're gonna build all your crossovers up like this, almost like dipping through the bottom of the circle, and then start coming up, and he can just kind of lead you on with that pass, and you're off to the races. So that's kind of one of the differences there, in my opinion. But then let's watch Dave's reaction one more time because it's funny. So this one, Janice, is Focus on You. One of the things I prefer, and it's going to be a habit you want to build. Right now you're slower than most players on the ice, and that's fine. But one of the habits we want to typically avoid is anywhere between that red line and the blue line. We don't want to send any passes, and we're trying to at least try to carry it over the blue line before you do anything. And if you can't, really consider just dumping the puck in. But my preference for you is really fight to keep that puck on your stick. Especially as a red tape, you only have one other red tape going to be able to attack you. And I would rather you lose the puck on your stick than to give like a bad pass or turnover. And like it's not a bad pass necessarily here, but you know, you see that there's a turnover there. And so I would rather you just lose the puck on your stick and you just work on your puck control and puck whatever what's called, defense, I don't know, holding on, being able to hold on the puck more, and it's kind of going to build confidence in that manner. And same could be said for everyone else, not just the red tapes, intermediates. I'd rather everyone lose the puck on their stick trying to protect it than turning it over with a bad pass that's just kind of panic. All right, so let's continue. What the fuck, Ray? Oh my god. How did you get beat like that? Okay, at least Ernest is back there to save it. And then yeah, that was also kind of a panic clear. Very clearly Ernest had time and space. Just a simple shoulder check would you'd be able to figure that out pretty quickly. Unless you were tired and you wanted to clear it, then that's it. Oh, another banana peel. Alright, let's continue. Let's see what we got here. Pass up to Justin. See, now that is a better move. So remember earlier I said he really made it so predictable. And in a way, you still are. I'm gonna say, Justin, your skating makes it predictable. It's just a straight path. Now you are able to mix it up with a little bit by doing a little, like your hands are good and you're doing some puck protection to drive the net. Then the next kind of move now is really incorporating some turns, some deception into your skating. Like you can do a little snake pattern. You could come in and then cut out. So that's something that you're going to need to work towards. Because quite simply, this is, as a defender, this is super easy. Like if he played that well, positioned it like that, that was pretty poorly played by number 17, I have to admit. Like, what is that? So here is coming a demonstration of what I just said earlier. I'd rather you lose the puck on your stick than sending a bad pass. Turn, like it still works, but let's rewind it, really pick it apart here. I'll nitpick Kathy. So this is good, right? We got Dave and Kathy coming in. She's incorporating some movement. She's taking that free, like open ice on that left side, and it's looking pretty fine and dandy. You got good entry. You got space to work with. You got you're not tight to the boards, so you got a lot of flexibility. So flexibility in the sense that you could continue in, tight turn around, and start skating down, and you're going to be in a really good spot being righty on that left side, forehand. You got shot options, you got pass options. And then you just do a backhand pass. Like, what is that? What are you doing? And like, to make matters worse, like, let's say you kind of got the trajectory to lead Dave into it, but 0 is in the pathway. Like, that's an easy interception all day long. So who's that pass to? It could have been a really easy turnover, and now you've had a 2-on-2. Now you've given the Penguins time to recover. So kind of a wasted opportunity there. That's not bad though, but could have been better. Pretty slick backhand pass by Carrie Ann there. He comes in with the relentless stick lift. Oh my god. Oh, okay, hold on. Look at this. Pause right here. This is the absolute hallmark of the overload right here. This is... I sense something good's gonna happen. Oh my god, is that beautiful or what? That was such a good chance right there. And you can just see, like, this is a perfect, the gaps to each other are so good. We got the 2 on the support positions, right, along the boards, helping each other out. Carrie Ann with Kathy. And it's like you're spacing just enough to be an absolute nuisance for these players. And like, my stance still remains in this manner. When we overload a position, it makes it super awkward for the lefty, in this case 44, to want to come and shift over. So naturally, both Ds should, like, we could say, if they want to do man-to-man, they should be on top of you. But it's like you have this really uncomfortable feeling that you're gonna leave the net front empty, and so you'll almost always have a bit of freedom to kind of work these 2 positions. And like I've said before, this area is prime real estate, right? But you can see 22 is pretty close there. But my favorite plays, and I'm just gonna always affectionately name it that magic spot, people just forget. Like, it's awkward to cover and people forget about you, and that's exactly where Jess is. Boom, got that extra 1-2 seconds to settle it down and get a shot off. Yeah, this is like, I could screenshot this and put that as a thumbnail. So good. One of the things I would say, if Ernest can work towards, so right now he's going for a shot. and it's perfectly fine. The only thing I would say is ultimately, if the goalie is good with a clear lane to the net, he's probably gonna save it 9 out of 10 times. Now, one of the skills I think Ernest can work towards, and I know it's difficult, is now considering gathering it up and really taking and walking the blue line. What that means is you are gathering it from a corner position to a middle position, and then from there you're gonna hunt laneways, but also find, like, you're trying to collect as much traffic so that goalie cannot see the puck, and then fire it through. So that's kind of one of the things I would say Ernest can definitely work towards. But you know, this was perfect. That play is perfectly fine in itself as well. And I would say also in general, Alex should have, yeah, I from there just realize he needs to drive that net to maybe get that tip shot. But you know, this one kind of happened fairly quickly, so that's kind of fine. So we got some more pizza party. Oh my god, what the fuck? Why? Why? Oh my gosh. Dave almost joined the pizza party. Oh, got lucky there. Positioning seemed a little funky. Yeah. Alex, you moved way too quickly through that zone. And then now you floated too high. Yeah, we'll just send it there. Alright. Here's a demonstration for so Dave makes some nice moves. And I think that's one example for Justin, where just mixing some movements, going left, right, whatever, just make the defense move around and you'll be less predictable. But one of the things I wanted to showcase, I don't quite remember if it's this week, last week, whatever, where maybe it was just even earlier than this review, where I say once you get to a point, try to cut your angle, like you turn yourself to start skating towards the passer. So in this case, Alex drives a net, and at some point starts to turn towards the puck, right, the passer, and that allows you to have this kind of advantageous body positioning and puts you in a really good position to be able to, right, jam away at shots, or even shoot. So yeah, that was a good example there. I think this is a good demonstration where I said for Ernest to walk that blue line. Actually, one thing of note, I have said, so we cut that ice in half, and in general for the forwards, go on the side of the puck. For the defense, I would say cut that ice in half, but try to be kind of on this side of the half, rather than on this side, just so that you have a little bit more spacing between the D, which is generally going to be more important to work with. So yeah, I would say kind of more this vicinity for defense. And continuing on, like walking that blue line right there, and then open up for the shot. Now, if Ray was able to get that off quickly, I could see he stumbled a little bit or lost the puck for a split second there. But right there would have been a really good time to shoot. Looked like he couldn't quite get a good handle on it, and then got the shot off a little late, but looked good. So Ernest coming in quickly, tries to settle it, gets first shot, and then Oh, banana peel into the boards. That looked pretty scary, to be honest with you. Oh gosh. Yeah, thankfully you kind of turned around and took the brunt of the force with the back. That looks so scary. Like this body positioning. Oh my god. Yeah. Thankfully, no, you're not hurt. And unfortunately, that does result in a 5-on-1. Holy smokes. Let's see what you got, Ray. Backdoor, backdoor. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Wipe that sweat. Yeah, let's roast Justin a little bit here. There's 3 centers. The defense, Mr. Ernest, has just crashed in the boards in the corner. There should be 0 reasons why Ernest should be back before you are, Justin. That has got some 0 hustle written all over this. On a 5-on-1? On a 5-on-1, Justin? With 2 subs? With running 3 centers? And 0 hustle? 0 hustle? I'm watching you all the way. Oh boy. And then now after Ray was left on Lonely Island, he breaks up the play, carries into the zone. Bit of a forced pass, but still got Justin. Shot, save, rebound out. Ernest buries that rebound and into the net. So that's a pretty wild shift. Crashes in the boards, almost gets hurt. Hustles all the way back on that 5-on-1 situation. They come back all the way back the other way, and then he scores. That's pretty crazy. So Jess comes in, dangles through, gets a shot through, and banana peel on the ice. So I think earlier on in the game, I kind of highlighted a mistake that Ernest had, where he was in front of the forward. He was like kind of like here, and then it bounced off. Now in this case, he is behind the forward. I would say he could have been closer, but my point still stands. Where being behind, you can really see the trajectory, and if you choose to intercept, it's just going to be way easier for him. And this kind of proves my point. Boom, just an easy reception. Maybe I feel like you probably could have just skated it in, but whatever. And that looks like icing there. Alright, last 40 seconds of the game. Typically we want to... Oh, banana peel, banana peel. We gotta rewind here. Look at Dave. Boom, banana peel on the ice. And still recovers it. Oh, did that hit the ref? That's a weird bounce. Oh, that looked dangerous. Oh my goodness. Nice clear, Lena. Looks like it's gonna be game over here. Alright, cool. 1-0 game.